The maritime spice trade monopoly in the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea stayed with the Arabs during the High and Late Middle Ages. However, the dominance of Middle East traders was challenged in the European Age of Discovery. After Vasco da Gama's arrival in Cape Cojicode in 1498, the Portuguese began to dominate eastern shipping, and the spice trade in particular. They established a trading center at Tangassery in Quilon during 1502 as per the invitation of the then Queen of Quilon to start spices trade from there. The Zamorin of Cojicode permitted the new visitors to trade with his subjects, such that Portuguese trade in Cojicode prospered with the establishment of a factory and a fort. However, Portuguese attacks on Arab properties in his jurisdiction provoked the Zamorin and led to conflicts between them. The Portuguese took advantage of the rivalry between the Zamorin and the King of Kochi, allied with Kochi. When Francisco de Almeida was appointed as Viceroy of Portuguese India in 1505, his headquarters was established at Fort Kochi rather than in Cojicode. During his reign, the Portuguese managed to dominate relations with Kochi and established a few fortresses on the Malabar coast. Fort St. Angelo was built at Kannur in 1505, and Fort St. Thomas was built at Kollam in 1518 by the Portuguese. However, the Portuguese suffered setbacks from attacks by Zamorin forces in Malabar region, especially from naval attacks under the leadership of Cojicode admirals known as Kunjali Marakkars, which compelled them to seek a treaty. The Kunjali Marakkars are credited with organizing the first naval defense of the Indian coast. An insurrection at the port of Quilon between the Arabs and the Portuguese led to the end of the Portuguese era in Quilon. In 1571, the Portuguese were defeated by the Zamorin forces in the battle at Chaliam Fort. The Dutch East India Company, who during the conflicts between the Cojicode and the Kochi gained control of the trade. They lost to Dutch at Quilon after 1661 and later, the Portuguese left southwestern coast. The Dutch in turn were weakened by constant battles with Marthanda Varma of the Travancore royal family and were defeated at the Battle of Colchale in 1741. An agreement, known as Treaty of Mavelikara, was signed by the Dutch and Travancore in 1753, according to which the Dutch were compelled to detach from all political involvement in the region. In the 18th century, Travancore King Sri Anijam Tirunal Marthanda Varma annexed all the kingdoms up to Cochin through military conquests, resulting in the rise of Travancore to preeminence in Kerala. The Kochi rulers sued for peace with Anijam Tirunal, and Malabar came under direct British rule until India became independent. In 1757, to resist the invasion of the Zamorin of Cojicode, the Palakkad Raja sought the help of the Hyder Ali of Mysore. In 1766, Hyder Ali defeated the Zamorin of Cojicode, an East India Company ally at the time, and absorbed Cojicode into his state. The smaller princely states in northern and north-central parts of Kerala including Kolattunadu, Kottayam, Kadatnadu, Kozhikode, Valluvnad, and Palakkad were unified under the rulers of Mysore and were made a part of the larger kingdom of Mysore. His son and successor, Tipu Sultan, launched campaigns against the expanding British East India Company, resulting in two of the four Anglo-Mysore wars. Tipu ultimately ceded the Malabar district and South Kannada to the company in the 1790s as a result of the Third Anglo-Mysore War and the subsequent Treaty of Seringapatam. Both were annexed to the Madras Presidency of British India in 1792. The company forged tributary alliances with Kochi in 1791 and Travancore in 1795. By the end of 18th century, the whole of Kerala fell under the control of the British, either administered directly or under suzerainty. The Malabar Special Police was formed by the colonial government in 1884 headquartered at Malappuram. There were major revolts in Kerala during the independence movement in the 20th century. Most notable among them is the 1921 Malabar Rebellion and the social struggles in Travancore. In the Malabar Rebellion, Mappila Muslims of Malabar rioted against Hindu zamindars and the British Raj. Some social struggles against caste inequalities also erupted in the early decades of 20th century, leading to the 1936 Temple Entry Proclamation that opened Hindu temples in Travancore to all castes. After India was partitioned in 1947 into India and Pakistan, Travancore and Kochi, part of the Union of India, were merged on 1 July 1949 to form Travancore Cochin. On 1 November 1956, the Taluk of Kasargod in the South Kannada district of Madras, the Malabar district of Madras, and Travancore Cochin, without four southern taluks, merged to form the state of Kerala under the States Reorganisation Act. A communist-led government under EMS Namboodiripad resulted from the first elections for the new Kerala Legislative Assembly in 1957. It was one of the earliest elected communist governments anywhere. This government implemented land and educational reforms. The state is wedged between the Lakshadweep Sea and the Western Ghats. Kerala experiences humid tropical rainforest climate with some cyclones. The state has a coast of 590 kilometers and the width of the state varies between 11 and 121 kilometers. Geographically, Kerala can be divided into three climatically distinct regions: the Eastern Highlands, rugged and cool mountainous terrain, the Central Midlands, rolling hills, and the Western Lowlands, coastal plains. Precambrian and Pleistocene geological formations compose the bulk of Kerala's terrain. A catastrophic flood in Kerala in 1341 CE drastically modified its terrain and consequently affected its history. It also created a natural harbour for spice transport. The eastern region of Kerala consists of high mountains, gorges, and deep-cut valleys immediately west of the Western Ghats rain shadow. 41 of Kerala's west-flowing rivers and 3 of its east-flowing ones originate in this region. The Western Ghats form a wall of mountains interrupted only near Palakkad, hence also known Palghat, where the Palakkad Gap breaks. The Western Ghats rise on average to 1,500 meters above sea level, while the highest peaks reach around 2,500 meters. Anmudi in the Idukki district is the highest peak in South India, is at an elevation of 2,695 meters. The Western Ghats mountain chain is recognized as one of the world's 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity and is listed among UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The chain's forests are considered to be older than the Himalaya mountains. Kerala's western coastal belt is relatively flat compared to the eastern region and is crisscrossed by a network of interconnected brackish canals, lakes, estuaries, and rivers known as the Kerala backwaters. The Kuttanad region, also known as the rice ball of Kerala, has the lowest altitude in India. The state's largest lake Vembanad dominates the backwaters. It lies between Alappuzha and Kochi. Around 8% of India's waterways are found in Kerala. Kerala's 44 rivers include the Periyar, 244 kilometers, Bhartpuzha, 209 kilometers, Pamba, 176 kilometers, Chaliyar, 169 kilometers, Kadlundipuzha, 130 kilometers, Chalakkudipuzha, 130 kilometers, Valapattanam, 129 kilometers, and the Etnakovil River, 128 kilometers. The average length of the rivers is 64 kilometers. Many of the rivers are small and entirely fed by monsoon rain. As Kerala's rivers are small and lacking in delta, they are more prone to environmental effects. The rivers face problems such as sand mining and pollution. The state experiences several natural hazards like landslides, floods, and droughts. The state was also affected by the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami and in 2018 received the worst flooding in nearly a century. Thank you for watching till the end. Please watch the final part. Let us discuss culture and tourism.